Okay, my beautiful friends, sit back and relax. First off, yes, you are beautiful. You are all beautiful. And I mean that. All right, look, post-market wrap-up on this Friday, May 27, 2022. What happened right now this week? Well, this market has now broken a 7-week losing streak. As a matter of fact, the NASDAQ just had its best day in 2 months. Stocks higher across the board. In my opinion, and I have not wavered from this at all, ever, all we've had now is a normal, natural corrective phase in this market. The S&P 500, the broader market, has not even entered a bear market. And we got people screaming from rooftops that this is some kind of a crash. Same people who have been misleading you for years and sadly kept thousands, probably tens of thousands of you out of the biggest bull run we've ever seen. And it's not over. It's not over at all. So just get ready. Look at the title of the video that I did yesterday, post-market wrap-up. I said be ready for a big move in this market. We got a pretty big move today, but in my view, gauging from the fact that the last series of rallies in this market have had better than 80% volume to the upside. For those of you that are, technicians out here, what does that tell you? I think the message is pretty clear here. You got energy continuing to march higher, financials catching a bid. I explained to you how this has to play out. Again, NASDAQ, best week in 2 months. And the tech sector, the financial sector have gotten punished, severely punished right now. And I've explained to you that there is people throwing the baby out with the bath water, and they're all going to pay a terrible price for it. This market is going higher. This market is going much higher. So just get ready for it. For all you crash enthusiasts out here, we're not crashing anytime soon. So just forget about it, okay? And for all you other YouTubers out here who are pushing the crash narrative, put your money where your mouth is. Short the market right now, I dare you. I dare any of you to do it. They're not going to do it. Oh, they're going to tell you that, this is it and it's over, because what do they want to do? They want you to be afraid, and they want you to be tuned in to their freaky YouTube blogs, because they want to scare the living shit out of you. Me, I just want you to understand what's going on. I want you to capitalize on all of this, and that's exactly what we're going to do. What we have been doing. Yes, my calls on the banks have been pretty abysmal as of late, but you want to just point your finger at that? How about you point your finger at my oil and gas producers, which have way outdone any losses with regard to banks here. Oil and gas has gone crazy. ExxonMobil, XOM, CVX, DVN, IBM. Go look at my website, traderschoice.net, PDBC. Yeah, go point at those things, okay? You want to keep pointing at the banks? We'll see who's right, okay, in the longer term. I'm laughing. It's astonishing to me. Really, you can lead a horse to water. You can't make him drink. When people are locked in a particular mindset, you can't break them out. The market has become almost like some kind of twisted religion for people, and they don't even know how to read it, especially these so-called experts out here on YouTube, again, some of which admit they don't own a single stock. Imagine my surprise. Someone who's not even in the market. They're an expert here. So much so that they can tell you when the market's crashing. Duh, and duh. I'm laughing. You don't like my tone of voice? Fine. Unsub. Do it now. I dare you. Go ahead. Do it. Get out. I don't need you here. All right, look. So that's the story. Nice rally on Wall Street today with huge volume to the upside. So I think that's setting the stage here for what's coming. There's a lot of cash sitting on the sidelines. As a matter of fact, capital inflows into this market, institutional buying is just starting right now. It's amazing, isn't it? I told all of you, I said, watch what's going to happen. The hedge funds were going to go short the market, and it was going to reverse to the day. That's what happened. These freaking hedge fund morons Okay, most of them don't know their ass from their elbow. As a matter of fact, you, by following this blog, you're smarter than 99% of these so-called big-wig hedge fund managers out here who generally are consistently wrong. Just like now, they go short the market and the market rips higher. The first, positive week in 7 with the NASDAQ having its best day in friggin' months right now, they don't know what they're doing. They don't have no idea what they're doing, and they're going to destroy themselves and their clients who must be, very unhappy right now. Anyway, so let's look over at the 10-year yield. Pretty much unchanged from this morning. What was the real driver here? A few things. Crude oil got bid higher. It was lower earlier, reversed, got bid higher. That boosted the energy sector, the financial sector doing better today. I told you how this is going to work. And the NASDAQ, look what I explained to you. I said in order for this market to move higher, you needed the banks to play. You needed the financials to, join in the party here. We needed the tech sector to at least, start turning around here. Best day in 2 months. Imagine my shock. And the 10-year yield, which really did nothing today. Again, that should tell you something. The fact that the 10-year yield stayed flat, relatively flat all day long. We dipped a little bit earlier. We came back up to about where we were this morning. I think fractionally lower, and yet the market put on nice gains with a lot of volume to the upside. Again, this was energy, this is financials, this is capital inflow, cash that was waiting on the side for somewhere to go. And that's the way I see this market right now. There's nothing going on here. Those people out here who've been running around like nutcases. Oh, it's a crash. It's over. It's over, Greg. You don't know what you're talking about. I've been hearing this for years. Okay, yes, I have been a raging bull in this market for a very, very long time. And during that entire time, I've been told the same thing. Greg, you're wrong. Going lower. And no, this has been the first route that this market has had. After going up pretty much straight up for years, you expect that to happen without a pullback. Pullbacks are bullish, especially in this environment. You think it's going to stop? Honestly, how many of you actually believe what's coming out of the mouth of this organization, the Federal Reserve, public enemy number one, with regard to with quantitative tightening? No one is going to buy the debt. I've told you this. Would you, honestly, let's think about this. This guy over here is selling something and he wants, X for it, and you could buy something else and get a much better deal. Same exact thing. What are you going to do? You're going to go get the better deal, aren't you? The Federal Reserve cannot unwind their balance sheet. They have to hold the debt until maturity because no one's going to buy it, yielding less than we could buy on the open market. Does that make sense to you or anybody else that has a functioning brain? I think it should. Wow. Anyway. So that's the story with this freaking market, all right? Either you're on the right side or the wrong side, and if you have not recognized what we have been in for what it is, a major opportunity, I've been buying these dips like a madman. I've been out here buying and buying and freaking buying everything I possibly could. When there is fear in the market, well, that's when you should start buying. And that's all we've had is fear. And, a lot of this, thank you to those YouTube bloggers out here, some with much bigger channels than mine, who've been scaring the living shit out of their followers. I've been buying what they're selling. And I'm going to be so much more rich than I am right now. You have no idea. Because, again, thank you. Thank you, YouTube fear-monger retard assholes. I don't like that word, but I just used it for the first time in many years. It bothers me to the core of my being when you got people out here pretending that there's some kind of market experts when they don't own a single share of stock. Really? Anybody want to debate me? Any one of you bigwigs out here want to debate me? Let's do it. Let's put your record against mine, and let's see who's better. Okay? Man, I tell you, I get fired up sometimes. It really gets under my freaking skin. So, with that said here, gold and silver did okay today. Dollar, like I said, did fall. Crude oil higher. 10-year yield pretty much flat. Market still put on nice gains today. And if we manage to see that 10-year yield rising a little bit moving into next week, you're going to see more gains in this market. In fact, it could be surprising moving forward. barring a black swan, okay, barring some kind of unseen event here, there's really nothing standing in the way of this market going higher. Nothing. This is not the big one. The big one's going to start in the debt market. Anyone who's telling you different does not understand how cash moves through the markets. And if you don't understand that one thing, that one basic premise of how cash moves through a market, then you don't know the first damn thing about these markets, and you should keep your mouth shut. I'm talking to these YouTube channels that think they're all big and lofty and they're market experts here. Makes me laugh, makes me want to puke, honestly. It's out of freaking control, out of control. So anyway, that's the story here with this market. A lot of institutional buying. Home buying sentiment is now at its lowest point in freaking history. Okay, that's because inflation is going away. Oh yeah, you remember, where's the chart I made for you this morning? Do I still have it? Yes, I do. Oh, this is the Federal Reserve's favorite index. And they're saying that inflation is peaking. Oh, it's getting better. How does that look to you? How about no? Okay, you're being lied to. You want to believe the Federal Reserve? Oh yeah, they're going to really quantitative tightening. It's going to happen. All they have done is raise the federal funds rate. They've been nudging it. And yes, more rate hikes are coming. And it's going to be bullish for this market. The market's going higher on the back of it. Look, there is no connection. Let me say this for the gazillionth time, between our free fall economy and the stock market. The gap here continues to get wider, and it's going to continue to go that way. Do you realize that central banks are on a mission to destroy the world, to create slaves, nation slaves, individual slaves? That's what they're doing here. That's what it's all about. There's no connection here between the markets and the economy. It just doesn't connect anymore. I think that's pretty obvious, or at least it should be to those of you that follow this blog. Energy's up 8% on the week. And really, people, look, I know I'm getting bent out of shape here, but nothing bothers me more than opportunity that just gets thrown away, okay? If you are not taking advantage of everything around you as our economy free falls, okay, as we are leading up to a grand finale here, the grand finale, in case you don't know, is going to be a market crash beyond anyone's wildest dreams. It's going to make the next market crash, which is going to happen, okay, it's going to happen upon the implosion in the debt market. The debt market hyper bubble is the key to every single other bubble. Okay, we have a stock market bubble, which is out of control. We have obviously a housing bubble, a real estate bubble, which is out of freaking control. It's just sick, okay? You got inverse bubbles here. I'm referring to the games that are being played with regard to precious metals. Absolutely. And again, the crash that is going to occur, and I am well aware of it, because look at some of these comments. Greg seems oblivious. Greg doesn't realize that a crash is coming. Really? I'm the guy who's been saying that an 80% sell-off in the S&P 500 is going to happen. How many other YouTubers are picking up that exact same number? Oh, that was me. Yes, you're looking at the guy. It's me. I'm the guy who said that. Because they know I'm right, and it is coming. That's the one thing that these freaking crash callers have correct. We are going to have a crash, and that crash is going to be biblical. I mean biblical, but it's not going to start in the stock market. Understanding that the key is the debt market, the hyper bubble. When that implodes, everything is going to change. And it's not just going to be a sell-off in the debt market, which is going to destroy the stock market. Cash moving into other assets here. Commodities are going to skyrocket. Not just gold and silver, which silver is my favorite asset of all freaking time. You know that. But we're talking about crude oil. We're talking about everything. Commodities across the board are going to balloon. And we are going to end up in a credit lockup free situation. And it's going to be pandemonium in the freaking streets. Pandemonium in the freaking streets. And then, of course, our lovely, illustrious government retards, or should I say, those that are faking to be the government, because the real government is central banks here, and I'm pointing to my hat yet again, not over my shoulder. The central freaking banks are the government of the world, and they are bringing the world to its freaking knees. Where are the protests? Where are all those out here? How about our illustrious retard freaking Congress people? How come they have not one called out the Federal Reserve for overshooting their inflation target by exponents? They're the ones, they are the root cause behind inflation as they continue to balloon the money supply. You don't believe me? Go to the Federal Reserve's website and look at the money supply chart. It's out of control. And according to our illustrious freaking retard Jay Powell, he said inflation is largely a monetary policy issue. Don't listen to Greg Mannarino, listen to him. Seriously. But no, it's Russia. It's this, it's that. And meanwhile, they continue to inflate. They have their their puppetized world leaders like retard Joe Biden and everybody else. They're pulling the strings. Oh yeah, we got to fund this. We got to fund that. How about another crisis? Monkeypox, this, that, and the other freaking thing. You kidding me? Really? I tell you, people, I am very aware that a meltdown in the stock market is going to occur, and it's going to be biblical. The worst crash that has ever been seen. And that's what this is building up towards. In case you have missed several episodes here, we are leading up to a climax, and that climax is an implosion in the debt market that's going to destroy the stock market. The stock market, listen to this. Listen to what I'm about to tell you if you take nothing away from this video. The stock market is a derivative of what's happening in the debt market. The debt market eclipses the stock market by exponents. Why do you think central banks, pointing at my hat, have decided to rig the largest part of the market? Because they realized by doing so, they would cause price distortions across the spectrum of asset classes. Are you getting it? Are you understanding now, finally, probably, I hope? It's not going to stop. And this market is going higher. Okay, we'll see if I'm right, people. But it's hard to argue when look, I am not right all the time. But ask people that have been with me. X my lions, okay? Yes, banks, bad call as of late. No doubt about it. But some of my other picks have been fantastic and have well made up for that. But banks are going to come back. They're going to come back big. If that means these institutions are going to sit back and start buying back shares of their own stock, you don't think they're going to do that? Do you realize that banks are answerable to their shareholders? Did you know that? Yeah. And believe me, their shareholders don't like it when the stock goes down. So what do? They increase dividends. They institute stock buyback programs. You think that's going to stop too? You really think so? How about no? Maybe you should ask those YouTube doomers, market crash creatures about it. I hate these people. I hate them all. And tell them Greg Mannarino said that. Greg said he hates your guts. I do. Because they've misled people on an epic scale for a very long time. They got one thing right, two things right. One is, yes, we're going to have an epic crash, but not every single week or every single month, okay? There's no way to pick a time, a date, or whatever that's just can't possibly freaking happen. Yes, they're telling people that they should own gold and silver. Oh my, what a monumental thing. Yes, that is absolutely the case. Bet against the debt. Become your own central bank here. A lot of these people running on my coattails. You realize that? Anyway, I'm telling you. Let's calm down. All right? Look, it's Friday. Now, this market is closed Monday. So you will not see this guy. We got Memorial Day coming up. So I hope all of you do acknowledge that and have a great weekend. You're not going to see this guy until Monday. On Monday, I will do a Markets A Look Ahead segment. And we'll cover a lot of stuff there. So I get a day off, an extra day off. I'm looking forward to that. Now, with my big rant here that I went off on, tell me where I got it wrong, because I know I'm going to hear from a lot of people. Okay, fine. I'm probably going to get called a few names here or there. But what have I gotten wrong? Sift through the bullshit, okay? that maybe, and before you comment, know what you're talking about, because nothing bothers me more than that. Okay, I get these idiotic comments. I even write, did you watch the video? Really, before you comment, realize what you're saying, because you see, otherwise you just look stupid. And I don't want any of you to look stupid. I want you to look smart. Even those of you that don't like Greg Mannarino, and I don't give a damn if you like me or not. I really don't. I'm out here telling it like it is. If you can't handle it, that should tell you something. Maybe the truth bothers you. You know, there's one way to get people to hate your guts. And you know how that, you know what you do to get people to hate your guts? You tell them the truth. That's it. People are so used to being lied to from their first breath to their last breath. They're so indoctrinated into, you know, shunning away from the truth, shunning away from the light. People talk a big game. Oh, love and light, love and light. You show people a little love and light and they hate your freaking guts for it. That's really the truth. Not everybody. Not everybody. All right. All right. So like I said, people, it is Friday and you're not going to see me until Monday, but we're going to do what we always do. Okay. Bring it in and nobody's watching. All right. Let's do this together. Nobody's watching. Nobody's watching me. Not even my dogs. I'm all alone in here. Are you ready? Love each other. Care about each other. Be charitable. Please share this video. Please comment. I want to hear from you. Sure, I'm going to get a lot of haters here, but I have a lot of people that defend me. And I don't think I actually need that. But for those of you that just feel like venting and Greg is wrong and is an idiot, okay, that's fine. Okay, you're allowed to have another view. I tell everybody all the time, you don't have to agree with me, but you need to understand what's actually going on here in this market. And that's really what this is all about. This guy honestly loves all of you. Even those of you who hate my guts, I want to help you. I'm trying my hardest to do that. Okay. So with that said, I'm out of here. See you Monday. Have a super great weekend.